Hi and welcome to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about first aid and rescue stuff. So what we've got is a very tiny first aid kit. This is my one, and the reasons why I take a small first aid kit and what I've got in it. So I'm going to go through it in a minute and show you what I carry in my first aid kit. Reasons why it's so small. Well, realistically, if you've twisted your ankle, if you've broken your ankle, or along those lines, then you should be calling your mountain rescue, your ambulance, or anything, the emergency services, to come out to you. So what you need to carry with your first aid kit is only what you need to survive until they arrive. Most of the things you can improvise with as well. So if you've broken your leg, a branch around you can be bandaged to your leg to hold it in place. That's until the emergency services arrive, and they will have the proper equipment to deal with the injury you have. This is why my first aid kit's so small. As soon as an injury happens, phone the emergency services. If you don't have signal, I'm suggesting carry one of the satellite Garmin Inreaches or similar, and then you've still got the access to the SOS button on the side. Emergency services are called and they'll be on their way. So what do you need until they arrive? Let's have a look. So let's open it up. In here, firstly, I have one large, very good, strong bandage. A few plasters. Now, you could even take the plasters out. I use the plasters just in case I've got a little cut. Put a plaster on it, stop it bleeding, stop the dirt getting into it. That's just a normal everyday occurrence. Cutting your hand and getting dirt in it, you can carry on. It's not an emergency. The bandage is there so that I can immobilize a limb, or I can hold it in place until the emergency services arrive. So that's my little pack up in there. In here also, I have a little sewing kit. No, I am not Rambo. I am not sewing my wounds back together. This is kept together in there, so it has some string in it. I can tie off the bandage if I need to. Also has some safety pins for the bandage, and I can make repairs to my rucksack, my rain jacket whilst I'm underway, and I keep it in there together. I have a tub. This looks like a little tub of paracetamol, but it's actually a tub of matches. These are emergency waterproof matches. If my stove's gone wrong, if my lighter doesn't work because it's raining, I've got some waterproof matches in here. These are the army style waterproof matches, which I think they're phosphorus or something, and they work in the rain as well, so they're just a good emergency to have. That means I can light a fire if the emergency services are on the way and keep warm. Also, let's go through this quickly. I carry some zinc oxide tape. Now this tape I usually use for around my heels. When they're rubbing in the shoes, I can take that rub out. It stops me getting blisters. I know from lots and lots of ultra marathons where I get blisters. The heel in my shoe is one of them. I would tape up my feet with this. I can also use this for the bandages or for tying a stick around my leg if I've broken it until the emergency services arrive. It'll also do some repairs in my jackets, so a good little bit of kit to have on there. Then I know that I get between my toes after about 30 miles, they start landing on each other and I start getting blisters in between my little toes. Some Vaseline. This tub of Vaseline will last me about 3 to 4 days. I use a lot of it. I whack loads between my toes, and then I run for the day, and my little piggies are happy as anything. So Vaseline on my toes, zinc oxide tape on my heels. Also, every time I've had an emergency in my life, or every time that something has happened around me, the first port of call is usually, stop the bleeding, then try and keep them as comfortable as possible, the patient as comfortable as possible. I have one of these emergency blankets. I don't like people's blood getting on my sleeping bag, which I could use to keep them warm and comfortable as well. So I'll wrap this around them first. These are the blankets that you see at the end of the London Marathon. They're super cheap online to buy. Wrap around them, you're keeping them warm, you're keeping them a bit more comfortable. After you've wrapped this around them, then you can put your sleeping bag around them, keep them super warm till the emergency services arrive. So nice and handy to have. And then the last bit in my first aid kit is actually what people would call a first aid bag, I suppose. And what we have in here is, I have some of these electrolyte drinks. These are just powders that you can put in. It says electrolyte powder on the front. I have 3 of these so that I can keep fluids going in, replenish all the minerals that I've used up. That's for things like if you get diarrhea underway, or if you're dehydrated underway, then these replenish some of the fluids that you've lost, some of the salts and minerals. I also have some tablets. These ones are water purification tablets. I have a lot of videos on water filters, but these are water purification tablets. Depending on where I'm getting my water from, I will filter it. I will then put a tablet in it and wait 30 minutes, and then I will boil it just to make sure I'm super safe and I'm getting good clean water into my body. Last thing you need when you're underway is diarrhea, believe me. So I have a couple of them. I then also carry these for diarrhea. So these ones clean the water on the way in. These ones give you electrolyte if you're dehydrated, and these ones clog you up, so you stop having the runs. Really good one to carry. When I'm nearer my run as well, I put a packet of ibuprofen and a packet of paracetamol in there. Just painkillers. Like I say, if it's that bad, the emergency services are underway, I would have a painkiller until they arrive, and then they've got the proper equipment that they need to carry out and get you back underway or take you off the mountain. That is absolutely all I carry in my first aid kit. It's not very much. It has been put together over the years of me doing things and learning what I need and what I don't need. My main one I would carry if I'm cutting down a first aid kit. So if I had surgical scissors and one of those boroscopes and I could do open heart surgery under the way. I don't know how to do open heart surgery, so that would be a waste of carrying the equipment. I would just call the emergency services. So this is what I've cut down to. Now, it's not very much, but it gets me by. Any comments, put them in the links below, and I'll answer them for you. This is what I use as a first aid kit. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll bring out more videos for you.